Welcome back. I'm Jill with the carefreekitchen.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my really amazing caramel cinnamon rolls. And these cinnamon rolls are made with my favorite cinnamon roll recipe. And then for the frosting, they have this amazing ooey gooey caramel sauce. Okay, so for my ingredients for these caramel cinnamon rolls, these are the things that you're going to need. Okay, so for the cinnamon roll recipe, it's a pretty basic recipe, but I have just some regular all-purpose flour here. I'm going to be using a couple eggs, some yeast. You can use instant yeast or active dry yeast, either's fine. Some sugar, a little bit of salt, some butter, and then some water. And then for the filling, we're just going to be brushing it with some butter, a little bit of brown sugar, and then of course some cinnamon. And then for the caramel topping, I'm using some Caro syrup, some sweetened condensed milk, a little butter, and then I'll be also adding in some more of the brown sugar. Okay, so to get started, I have some water here, and this is just lukewarm water. It's actually just a little bit warm to my skin. You don't want it too hot. And then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of yeast and about 1/4 cup of sugar. And I like to just mix that up a little bit. If you're worried about your yeast not being active, then you're gonna wanna wait just a minute and make sure that that like bubbles. But this is a new thing of yeast and I've used it several times, so I know that we're good there. And into this, we're going to add our butter. And sorry, that was 1/4 cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of salt. This calls for 5.5 to 6 cups of flour. So I'm gonna add 4 cups and mix this up, and then I will add the last little bit slowly. Okay, and the secret to having cinnamon rolls that are not too tough and are easy to roll out is that they pick up all of the flour. You want to add just enough flour until it picks up all the flour over here on the edges of the bowl. So this is just about right. I'm gonna go ahead and knead this for like 2 more minutes, and then it will be ready to let rise, and then we will roll it out. Okay, this has had a chance to knead for just a couple minutes, and now I'm gonna take it off of the dough hook. I'm gonna cover this with a cloth so it can stay warm, and we'll let it rise for about 30 minutes. All right, so my dough has had a chance to rise here. It's like nice and soft. It's not sticky, so it's perfect to roll out into our cinnamon rolls. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just spray a 9x13 baking dish with cooking oil, and then I'll set that aside. Now I'm just gonna get a little bit of flour here and put on my countertop so it doesn't stick. And pull it out of the bowl here. So this has just about the right consistency. You want it really soft, but you still want to be able to touch it. So if it's too sticky, then you'll just need a little bit more flour into the dough. And now I'm just gonna roll this out into a rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. I like my dough to be about 1/2 inch thick here, so it makes nice, big, thick cinnamon rolls. Okay, and then for the filling, I'm going to be using about 1/4 cup of butter, but however you want to do it so it kind of spreads evenly all over. And then I just like to take a little spoon and spread it out here. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a few handfuls of brown sugar. Just put that right onto the dough. I like to spread this around a little bit evenly. And then I'm gonna add some cinnamon. You can add as much or as little as you want. I actually like quite a bit of cinnamon on my rolls. There we go. So maybe about a tablespoon. And then I'm just gonna start here at the bottom and loosely, you don't want to tuck it in and roll it, you just want to loosely roll it, or else that's when you get the center of the cinnamon roll coming out. So just going to loosely roll this, and then you can use dental floss for this, string, or just a sharp knife works good too. And this is going to be about 12 cinnamon rolls in our pan. So I'm going to cut it right down the center. Okay, the center again. And then cut each one into thirds. So they should be about 1 inch or so thick. So the cinnamon rolls are in the pan, and now I'm just gonna cover them with a towel again and let them rise for about 30 minutes. All right, let's take a peek at these cinnamon rolls. They've been rising for about 30 minutes. They're nice and soft and fluffy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and preheat my oven for about 350, and then we'll put them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so while those cinnamon rolls are cooking in the oven, I'm going to make my caramel sauce. And this is super easy, and it's like so amazing. The caramel on top of the cinnamon rolls. Anyways, it's just an awesome combo. So, okay, so I have a nonstick skillet and pan here, sorry. And that's the best thing to use because it does have a tendency to stick. So if you have a nonstick one, that's where you wanna go. And then I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of butter and also 1 cup of brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar if you want, or light, whatever you have on hand is great. And then I'm also going to use about 1/2 cup of Caro syrup. And then also I have some sweetened condensed milk, and I'm going to use 1/2 can. And if you don't have another use for this, maybe just double the batch, and then you can use the caramel sauce on like ice cream or, you know, any kind of a dessert. Okay, so there's about 1/2 can there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna stir this up and let it come to a boil, and then I'll check in with you then. All right, so this is boiling a little, and I'm just gonna use a little candy thermometer here, and we wanna get this to about 220 degrees. And you kind of need to stir this constantly so it doesn't scorch to the bottom of the pan. And right now, we're about 200. So we'll give that just another couple minutes here. And all right, we're right at 220. You want it somewhere in the 220, 230 range. So I'm just gonna take it off the heat here, turn it off, and let it cool down just a little bit. All right, here are my amazing cinnamon rolls. And as you can see, we've got like all kinds of golden color here, and it's pulling away from the side of the pan, so it looks like it's perfect. And now we're going to add our caramel sauce. And this caramel sauce has had about 5 minutes to cool, but if you need to reheat your caramel sauce, you can definitely do that. Just pour it back into the pan. We're just gonna go ahead and pour this right on top of our hot cinnamon rolls. These cinnamon rolls are amazing. They're made using my favorite cinnamon roll recipe and have a delicious caramel sauce topping. They're soft and chewy and warm and loaded with cinnamon and caramel topping. I hope you enjoyed this episode at the Carefree Kitchen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on social media, and I will show you all kinds of fun and easy recipes your family will love. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.